So I'm going to talk about looking at your statistics for your site using Awstats. Awstats is in your cPanel. Your cPanel is accessible by yourdomain.com/the word cPanel. So once you're in, you can type in Awstats and it will show up, or you can scroll down to the metrics part. There'll be a whole lot of different things in there, but Awstats is what you want. You are going to see two um, domains there. One would be your site served over SSL and one over non-SSL. If you have a subdirectory or add-on domain, those will also show here. And again, there'll be SSL and non-SSL. So for me, these two things are actually going to show very different things because half the year I had a security certificate, but I did not force the use of SSL, which I have done as of July, where it will hurt you if you do not have your site served over SSL. So you could have a security certificate, but you're not necessarily seeing your site over SSL. If somebody types in www.yourdomain.com there, and you don't have it forced to SSL, they will see it over non-SSL. So I'm going to look at the SSL, and actually I'll show you the difference because you can open two. Now, prior to getting a security certificate, if I want to see last year's, I would just refer to the non-SSL. So you can see here, this is the SSL, and you can see as of July, somewhere mid-July, I forced SSL over the server. And you get non-SSL, and that was my site prior to July, where again, August, September, October, because I forced it, there's very, very little, like one person got through in October. Not positive how that happened, but one person got through. So I want to look at the SSL metrics, and we've only had 2 days so far this month. So I'm going to look at, I think October had some interesting things in here. So these are kind of abysmal numbers. This is a blog. I don't advertise anywhere. I put some recipes on. I have some snarky things on it. It kind of grew out of a Facebook page that I created for fun. So that is my explaining. Don't judge me that there's not very many visits. This is very abysmal, but let's talk about the top. You can choose your reporting period, and no matter what you choose, it will show you the 11 months prior and including that. So I'm going to click OK for October, and OK, and so it shows you the entire year. Oh, okay, so here's October in here, and so it shows you the entire calendar year. I apologize. I thought it was going to just show you 12 months prior or 11 months prior. So it tells me for the month of October, my first visit was 23 minutes after the hour on the 1st, and the last one was 23:55, so 5 minutes before the end of the day on the 31st. So unique visitors were 272. How does it know? Everybody's computer has an IP address, and every time you visit, there were 272 unique IP addresses. Now, if you have a device or a computer that has a dynamic IP, that might be a little inflated, but we're going to take that at face value, 272 visitors for a total of 1,200 visits. That's people have come back 4 times, or one person came back 1,000 times, but that's pretty good. You want to see that people are coming back. So number of visits is 1,200, number of pages, now of course pages also means posts, is 5,950. So you've got an average of people looking at, because I do have a blog and not many pages, about 5 different blog posts per visit, okay? And so hits are 11,000. Now, what that means is on each page you have downloads, you have images, you might have documents, every time that page loads, each one of those assets is a hit. So one page could, if you've got a gallery on there, you could have, 6 or 7 hits just from that one page. So that's what that means. Bandwidth is a measure of a non-technical term, the effort that that page is for to load over the server. you're loading the page, it's loading photos, it's using up what's called bandwidth. Bandwidth is something that is measured, but it's not space the way you would think, okay, I upload a photo, you've uploaded a total of, over the last year, 60 or 70 photos. That uses space on the server, whereas bandwidth is using up not space. Bandwidth is measured, and you have a limit of bandwidth per month, but that bandwidth will zero out. At the end of the month, you start with 0 on the first of the month. So that month, I've used 575 megabytes of bandwidth. Okay, and so for a total of about 500 kilobytes a visit. So that really means nothing to you. What you're looking at is unique visitors, number of times they came, how many pages, la la la. So number of hits, it means just like I said, how many assets that the person viewed. So looking at the year in general, October, looks like November was a banner month, probably because I just started cleaning up my site. I did some renovations or changes and posts on it in November. So October doesn't look as popular as September. So let's look at January to December. It shows you both a visual, and of course, remember the majority of these were seen over non-SSL. So if I wanted, I would have these 2 pages open so that I could see, and maybe I will do that. I'll open up the non-SSL here and view it, and let's see how I stack up. So March had 1,000 unique visitors here, but 1,600, there's not a lot of people came back twice. So looking here, it looks like I did better at the beginning of the year than I did at the end of the year, didn't I? So looking here, looks like March was a big month. Okay, so looking at December 2018. So let's look at March 2018. See what was popular. So 1.5 visits. So I didn't get a lot of people back, whereas for this up here, I had people coming 4.44 visits per month. And here, the beginning of the month, beginning of the year, March, these numbers are all a lot bigger. The number of visits shot up March 13th, appears to be a banner day here. 206 visitors in a day. So not positive what I did in March 13th. I might go back and look at my blog posts. But you could see again, you can see it in a visual representation as well as the actual numbers, if that interests you. So we have a monthly history, what month was most popular, days of the month, that would be the current month that we're in. The days of the week that it's most popular, it looks like 558, they're all about the same. Looks like Friday, Saturday, and Monday are banner. I'm sorry, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I would post on a Friday. So let's look over here for the SSL, what days of the week. 92. Looks like Friday is more popular here. Oh, 298. Okay, here we go, 300. So Thursday is popular. So you would use these statistics, or I would use recent ones. I mean, this obviously is closer to, well, this one is closer to the days of the week. Here we go. This is October of this year. So looking at this year, it looks like Thursday is a banner day for that day of the month. The time, that's midnight. So this is the time of day that my blog is most popular for the month of October. And when you look at the time of day, this is all on Eastern. The server is in Florida, and it's at the Eastern time zone. So this will give you an idea of maybe what time of day you want to post. If in particular we have here is 16. So let's see, I'm not good at this. Is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 p.m. So it looks like 8 in the morning. I'd want to post either really early in the morning or at least by noon for uh, the majority of people reading are in the afternoon or evening. Top 25 countries. We're looking at United States and France, followed by Canada, followed by people trying to hack my site from the Russian Federation, Turkey. These are never good. So this is good. My target audience, I would imagine, I haven't thought that hard about it, to be honest, but that the US is the number one, that's good, and it's number one by far, which is very good. Canada is good because they're English speaking. Most of my friends, the traffic that I drive to is probably from Facebook, and they are majority Americans and Canadians. So these are the top hosts. If you are interested in knowing what these are, usually it's your own top one. If you go to what'smyip.org, it will tell you what your IP address is, and it's not this. I don't know what's my IP. 71224. 71224. So I'm not even in the top 25, and it doesn't matter. Okay, but you can go to iplocation.net and just for the heck of it, look at who is looking at my site 7,000 times or 2,000, whatever. So this is the high ISP is HostTime. So this is the intranet for my hosting company. So I'm not positive why they would be the highest, but it might have to do with me doing something with my site, whether it be backups or whatever. Let's look at number 2 here on the list, 479. Geolocation is, and the winner is Canada, Quebec. Yay. Okay, so let's look at, here, the third one with 361. So the top 4 are really, over 200, top 4 or 5. Not that this matters. It really doesn't. I'm just nosy. Like, where are my people coming from? Okay, and here's France. So, again, you could take a minute and look at it and try to figure out what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just, these are unknown visitors, meaning that they're not logged in or anything. And authenticated users are people who are logged in. So it means I never logged in that month. Very, very possible. Robots and spiders, this is how you get found. So you want to make sure that you are being crawled. Visit durations, this is sad. The majority, overwhelming majority, 84% of people are on my site for less than 30 seconds. You kind of want to get those numbers up. It looks like 89 visits for over an hour, so somebody must have gone to the site and walked away. These are the file types that are the most popular. It means nothing. I have no downloads on my site. Sometimes you'll see a list here that won't make sense to you, but it doesn't really matter. These are top pages being looked at. So cron, I have a backup running, so that could be that. The / all by itself is the home page. WP login is the login, which if I haven't logged in, I've had 231 attempts to log in on that page. That's not uncommon with WordPress, people trying to get in. Otherwise, these are categories these are actual categories. So these categories are popular. So people are probably going to the home page 1,900 times and then type. I have categories in my navigation structure. So people are going to the categories. Gym Blues. Okay, so these are an actual article, I should say. This is my RSS feed. This is an article. This is an article. These are articles. So you can find out like what articles are the most popular, or in this case, there are um, categories. Category archives are popular. Operating systems. So overwhelmingly, we have Windows operating system is viewing. So this is what people are on when they're accessing. The second one is Macintosh, followed by Linux. And then the iOS, which should be people's smartphones, I think. Um, top browsers looking are Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, really? Safari, and then Firefox, and the Mozilla, and then the iPhone, and then the LGs. So these are what people are looking. Now, why does this matter? It really doesn't, but you want to make sure that your site is viewable properly, especially for me in Chrome. Clearly, that's where the majority of my um, traffic is coming from. Connect to site from. So Google's number one. So these are the different ways people are connecting. Um, links from an external page. This is something you're going to want to be careful of because a lot of these things are spam. Um, Security .net. That's a what you call it, um, virus protection. Facebook.com. I don't know why. I do have a lot of Facebook and mobile Facebook links. I share on there. It's not going to tell you exactly where. That's spam. How to generate traffic, that's spam. And what I mean by that is if you click on these, they'll probably go to a white page. Okay? I'll show you what I mean. If you click on them, and I'm not clicking on it because I'm not encouraging it. If I copy it and then paste it in a browser, it's probably a white page, probably shows nothing. Now sometimes, yeah, see it doesn't even load. So they are looking for trackbacks. They're looking for you to click it to say, hey, who's linking to me? I don't know why they do it, but it's called trackback spam. And you can see games.espn, and you're thinking, why would games ESPN be linking to me? And it's not. Like I said, there's a way that they can trick your server into thinking that they've linked to you so that you click on them. This actually is a real thing, geez Louise. It looks like she is using one of the memes that I made. So she took that off my site, and I'm not positive how it linked back to me, except it has my URL in my watermark. So I would say somehow it figured it out. So search key phrases. So it knows that if somebody came to me from Bing, that they have searched by Some Days You Have to Put on the Hat. I did do a meme with Some Days You Have to Put on the Hat, The Wicked Witch of the West. So these are search keywords that people are looking for and found me, which these are totally random. This is actually a thing, which is weird because that was not one of the top pages that was looked at. Miscellaneous visits to the site. Status code server busy, document not found. And I think if you click on this, it will actually tell you exactly what pages are not being found. And in some cases, they shouldn't be looking at them. Somebody is typing this in and they are trying to access it and they should not be. Okay. So content plugins, back on the wagon, brand. So yeah, I'm not sure. So the refer is this, and it's looking for that. I don't know why. So that is pretty much your tour of your Awstats. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. You might want to just hop around and look at a couple of different months to see. I mean, you'll be able to see here in the whole 1 year, start to finish. You know, if you see something interesting, let's look at November and what days, what hours, and use that. But remember, the thing that'll get you the most is the links from external pages, okay? You're really not going to want to click on these. And the biggest thing that I hear from this is sometimes the links look like they are porn, and it can be upsetting to see. But know that you are not, no one has linked to here. In fact, you can see all these zeros. So a lot of that is kind of BS. So don't worry about that. Don't worry too hard. You know, this is an article that I have, an Italian bread with sesame seeds. So somebody did a viewing and found my site. That's good. But again, any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Take care.